Hello friend, and welcome to another little episode in my series where I sew dresses inspired by the books I read. As you might be able to tell, Lady M and I are not at home. We are on a little seaside vacation with my family and obviously my husband, and I was really in the mood for some sea-themed reading. By the way, I don't think Lady M is going to turn around to us once this video. She's got dogs to watch and seagulls to observe. I gave her snacks so she can say hello once. Say hello, Lady M. Alright, so this week's book is A Captain for Caroline Gray, one of my favorite books. I know we have had a favourite last week, but we'll do a new book next week, but I was just in the mood for this. I love a travel story, kind of an adventure-y story. I love a historical romance that isn't set in England. I just think it adds so much adventure. I really like adventure in my books. I am not adventurous at all. I am scared of everything, but I love that in stories, and I absolutely adore proper romances, and this is all three, so this is really perfect. The story is about Caroline Gray, who has to go to India with the fishing fleet. I will explain the fishing fleet in a minute. And on the 3-month journey there, she meets Captain Scott, and they fall in love, and they go through lots of adventures together on the way there and in India, which I love about the dress. So I don't know if this is a universal experience, but I get a little anxious before traveling, and I have this desire to feel prepared, and somehow me wanting to feel prepared always results in me frantically sewing a dress the night before we leave for a trip, because for some reason I start to have this opinion that I cannot go without this dress. I don't know why. It does actually make me feel more prepared to wear like a dress that reminds me of a book, because it makes me feel a little more adventurous. I'm sort of borrowing the adventurous spirit of the book. So there's that, but it really does not make me feel any calmer to frantically sew for hours and hours and hours all night. All of the clips of this, including me starting to make the pattern, they start at 5 p.m. the night before we left, and we were in the car to go on vacation at 6 a.m. So it was all a little stressful, but I really liked it. So anyways, the fabric, I think the color of the fabric really reminded me of the cover of this. And also Caroline wears a lot of blue throughout the whole story. And our captain also, I believe he deals with fabrics that are blue. I think indigo blue, but you know, it's blue enough. And I think on the day that they leave for India, Caroline is wearing these long kind of puffy sleeves that just sort of reminded me of this shape, and I was just really excited by the prospect of this dress. Anyways, back to the book. So Caroline, our main girl, has a bit of trouble getting a husband. She doesn't want to settle for someone, and it's really important to her that she can talk to the person. And also she tends to scare off the men of her time a little bit because she has this avid interest in the sciences, which isn't really like typical for women of the time and doesn't really make her great marriage material. And her parents weren't really pressuring her into finding a husband, but her father died the previous year, and her mother and her have sort of been continuing their lifestyle on somewhat borrowed time because neither of them inherited anything because they're women. And the cousin that did inherit the house and the fortune has kind of been letting them live in the house, but now he is engaged and sort of forcing his hand into accepting this inheritance and stepping into it. And so Caroline and her mom have got to go. Her mom can find a place to live in her brother's house, but there's not money or space for both of them, so Caroline has got to get out of there. So out of all, Caroline's mom meets this couple who has a son in India who's an officer, and they're looking for an English wife for him, and they made this deal with Caroline and her mother that if Caroline agrees to go out with him in India 3 times, they will pay for half her ticket to India, which is a 3-month journey, so quite expensive. That does, however, also mean that there's no return ticket. There's no money for it, and Caroline does not want to go. She's terrified of this. She does not want to leave her mother, but she doesn't want to make her mother sad. So she does her best to hide her heartbreak and gets on the ship with the fishing fleet. The fishing fleet is just English women who couldn't find a husband in England and then go husband fishing in India. It's a very derogatory term. Captain Thomas Scott, our love interest, does not like the fishing fleet, and he does not like his involvement in getting these women to India because he feels like he's delivering them into loveless, unhappy marriages where they might even be treated badly, and he thinks it's foolish to go to India. He especially judges women who agree to matches before even going. So, Caroline. However, he does not know this about Caroline, and he's lovely otherwise, by the way, even though he's a little judgy. He is very gentlemanly, he's very kind, he really cares about people, and he is willing to put a lot on the line for them. And I love how much the two bond over shared interests in sciences and the stars and just how things work, and how much he admires her for her drawing skills. And they're just very on one level. They also bond a lot over shared values, and the whole relationship just feels very grown up. They always do face lots of adventures on the way to India, and then once they get to India, face bad guys, and I love the India part of this. I can't really spoil it, but it's really, really good. And I also love the female friendships in this, because I was really scared that this was gonna, because she's so intelligent, that this was gonna very much turn to like not like the other girls. And I mean, to an extent she is not like the other girls, but the other girls are lovely, and I think it's handled very well. I just love this book. I love the whole vibe of it. I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy rereading it, and I'm so happy making the dress, and I will now show you the dress. I hope you like the dress. I don't think I'll be able to say much about it because I think I'm filming it over there on the pier, and I think it'll be too windy. So I hope you like the dress, and I'm so excited to see you next week, friend. We're going home tomorrow, so next week's video will be at home as normal, and I'm so excited to see you next week, friend. I hope you have a lovely time until then.